Rav Moshe Feinstein used to get phone calls day in and day out, answering halachot, different situations, and the most calls he would always get is Erev Shabbat. Because Erev Shabbat, people are rushing to Shabbat, they didn't want to run into problems on Shabbat, different halachot, so they will make sure to call the rabbi to figure out what to do once Shabbat comes in. And many times it was life and death situations, and people had to know, what should I do? I'm in the hospital with this person, what do we do with the doctors, what do I say? Rav Moshe Feinstein will pick up the phone every single week, and Erev Shabbat he will spend by the phone answering questions. One week, the phone kept ringing and ringing, but the rabbi wasn't around. And the phone continued to ring. One of the students realized the phone was ringing. He says, probably an emergency, a life and death situation, I better go ahead and pick up the phone. He comes up to the phone, he says, hello. He says, yeah, hi, is Rav Moshe there? He says, I'm sorry, but the rabbi is not around, but I can, pass the message to him. I have a pen and paper, I'll write it down, and I'll make sure, word by word, exactly as you say, I will deliver to him the question, so he'll know exactly what the situation is, and he'll be able to get back to you as soon as possible. She says, oh, I have a very important question. He says, what's the question? My question is, what time does Shabbat start? Lady, do you know who you're calling? You're calling Rav Moshe Feinstein, the Gadol Hador, the greatest posek. People from all over the world call him to ask the most serious questions, life and death questions, and you're asking him what time does Shabbat start? Do you not know what a calendar is? He says, what are you talking about? I call every week, and Rav Moshe Feinstein picks up the phone on me every week, and he tells me what time Shabbat starts. As he's busy picking up the phone, answering all types of shayalot, the greatest questions, intricate, the most thought out questions. As he was busy with answering life and death situations, he was just as busy answering a lady what time Shabbat starts, because he never neglected the small things. And that's what made Rav Moshe great. What made Rav Moshe Feinstein great was the small things. And in God's eyes, greatness in those places that seem small. And when you don't neglect the small things, then you just made the headlines. You made it to the front pages in God's world.